Alright everyone, so today we're going to talk about one of my favorite champions. I have a little bit of a soft spot for this guy. We're talking about StagKnight. In my opinion, these days an absolutely underrated champion. He is amazing. If you pulled him, congratulations, and he is going to serve you very, very well. We're going to talk about why exactly that is, and also going to take a look at builds, masteries, and what else to do with him. StagKnight is a champion that has been around for a long time. There are now obviously a lot of champion additions over the last couple of months and years that will fill similar roles to him as well that you could use to swap in here. I personally love this guy. I actually played mine, or I used mine for the longest time. I still do, and he is incredible. One of the things that's oftentimes overlooked is actually his passive. So he places an increased accuracy every single time the ally has a debuff resisted by an enemy. And this is insanely awesome. Now, again, it's not something that will help you necessarily in arena with the first hit, but if you're going for prolonged battles, again, any kind of bosses, then you have problems landing your debuffs, then this is really something that will trigger over and over again throughout the run and will really help you. So it's oftentimes a bit overlooked, but it is, in my opinion, just one of the best assets that he actually has. His active abilities obviously provide a lot too, but this is something that most people overlook when they're looking at StagKnight, and especially when you're going up against the Iron Twins or any boss in Doom Tower, maybe even dungeon bosses. This can help you a lot. So if you have a StagKnight, this is going to be one of the things that will help your debuffers to land their abilities, their debuffs, if you don't have enough accuracy, or if you're, for example, trying to break through a new stage. Now, his bread and butter is his A2. This is really the big one. At this point, you have a decreased defense and you have a decreased attack. And the cool thing is that you have it essentially land on every single enemy on the other side. And if you fully buff it, then you have an 85% of landing this, which is pretty much a guaranteed hit on all of those. 3-turn cooldown, that's fairly strong. And this is honestly his main role. Like, he is first and foremost a debuffer. He is also attack based, so you can actually get a fair chunk of damage out with him as well, but his main role is debuffing. You can play him in a couple of different ways. We're going to talk about that when we're taking a look at mine and how I built him. Now, that's not the only way, but there's several ones. And on the A1, he has another awesome ability, because here you're getting a 30% decreased speed. You hit 2 times, which makes him kind of useful when you're going up against, let's say, the Fire Knight as well. It's not the same as getting a triple or even a quad hit in, but again, he can absolutely help here. If you use him, if you get him early, for example, use him in Fire Knight together with others, you can break through the shield. Once you're through the shield, you're starting to apply that decreased speed, which is amazing, and then you have also the decreased attack and the decreased defense, so he's extremely good there as well. You have the debuff chance increased by 30%, which means that in total you have, sorry, by 20%, which means that in total you have a 50% chance of applying. Since you have a double hit, that gets you a pretty good chance of actually applying the debuff. And this is essentially all that you need. So, again, has only a couple of abilities here, but he will get those hits in over and over. We're going to take a look at my personal one, and I can promise you, if you pulled him, you're going to have a lot of fun with him, and I'll show you exactly how to build him now. As I already mentioned earlier, there's a few different ways on how you can actually build him. Now, in my case, for example, I decided at some point that I do not need him as a damage dealer. So if you're looking just at the stats that I have, you can see that when it comes to crit rate, I didn't really bother with it too much. I'm sitting at 42% crit rate. I'm sitting at a little bit of crit damage that randomly came in, but I just decided that I don't need him as a damage dealer. Now, initially, I built him a bit more for damage. You can definitely hit the 100% crit rate with him. You can boost his crit damage a little bit, and he will be able to get damage out. For me personally, especially when I started to build my first team compositions for the Twins, I decided that I really needed to have him survive a lot of hits. I needed to survive him to survive so that he can regularly apply the decreased speed and the decreased attack plus defense. So I put him into more HP. I made him a little bit faster. At this point at 270, he can hit, of course, higher numbers here too, and that I also needed decent accuracy for him. Those were my main concern when I built him. He needed to survive hits, and he needed to start applying his debuffs as quickly as possible. I didn't put him in Relentless. He is currently sitting in a defense glove. We have him essentially just on speed sets, or in this case also on Divine Life. The chest similar. sitting on defense right now with extra hits into HP. As you can see, none of the items are really ascended, so I didn't really push too far on this anymore. When we're looking at the banner, it is an accuracy banner. Most of these things are glyphed. Nothing is really glyphed with like anything higher. Most of these hits are +3, +4%, and that's about it. And I also put him into counter attack, into revenge sets on the accessories, just so that he can get the occasional counter attack in 2 and then maybe apply that decreased speed that is going to help you a ton. So that's the idea behind this. Now, when we're looking at the masteries, that actually reflects exactly what I just talked about. You can go down the offense tree with him. As I said, he is not horrible when it comes to damage. He's not going to be a main damage dealer or anything, but you have to really think about what is he supposed to do for you. And for me, that was always just, he's supposed to survive, he's supposed to get his abilities connected. If you lack damage and you just need him as an added damage source, so you say you don't want to give up on this, you can absolutely go down the offense tree and you can get War Master in. I would in this case then skip the defense side and would just simply go for support plus offense. So that would be the masteries that I would personally look for with him. But generally speaking, it's always a question of what role is he filling. Now, on the blessing side, I went for cruelty. I don't really have a super strong blessing on him, but with cruelty, I'm just doing exactly what I try to do with his abilities and his build. I'm trying to make sure that he is helping me even more, supports me in this case, by also reducing the defense on the other side. So he's very straightforward when it comes to his tools. Ratings are high across the board. You can use him in Hydra as well. You can basically use him everywhere. If you have an early pull on StagKnight, he is going to be one of your bread and butter champions. He's not one of the guys that absolutely stands out on everything, but I can promise you're going to have a lot of fun with him, and I love mine. Again, I have a bit of a soft spot for him. I even have the StagKnight portrait still in there, so he is a huge asset in any kind of team composition. If you have him, make sure that you build him, and then again decide what kind of role he is supposed to fill for you in your team. If you need the extra damage, if you need to go down the War Master path on the mastery side, or if it's really just something where you say, hey, I need this as somebody that can actually just debuff continuously and reliably, then make him fast, give him accuracy, and make sure that he is tanky enough to survive hits. That's something that helped me to break through a lot of dungeon progression problems that I had. Helped me also in the Iron Twins to set up compositions there. And thanks to the passive that he has, as I said previously, he's also going to be great to help just with the general support on the rest of your debuffers that you might have on the team. And well, that's basically it. So guys, again, if you pull the StagKnight, let me know what you think about him. I personally love him. I think he's a fantastic champion. If you have any questions, anything I can help you with, drop a comment into the comment section. Thank you very much for watching the video. Make sure that you hit that like button, and I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.